Alright, you guys, I'm at the planetary hour of Mercury. I've looked into a few Sabian symbols so far. Alright, you could tell there is a change in the energy overall. I seem to feel a little bit out of my element. Here. I don't know why, because this is a normal thing for me. I'm always working on this type of stuff. Sabian symbols, understanding the transits, right? And as I look into these energies, it feels so unfamiliar to me. I have not seen these Sabian symbols. I have not read upon these energies just yet, and the energy is completely changed, where it's calling for me to be flexible and adaptable to the changes. That's mutable energy. So I've put together so far the Sun in Gemini at 4 degrees. Primitive roots. It says a holly and a mistletoe. I'll read this out in a second. The moon in Sagittarius at 8 degrees. Rocks and things forming therein. Speaking about alchemy. Alright. Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces has not changed so far. So we've read about the great stone face and how we're supposed to become in our own ideals. Alright. And then Pisces, I think it's at 19 degrees. A master instructing his pupils, speaking of transmission and how knowledge is being kept alive by the teachers who pass the information to the students, right? So when we see the opposition now of the Sun in Gemini to the Moon in Sagittarius, it gives this educational, this becoming idealistic energy a different type of shift. All right, let me look into this. The Sun in Gemini at 4 degrees. I'm going to read it out as best as I can. All right. Primitive roots. Pagan practices of spirituality resonate with very deep race memories and bind us into the source of all knowledge, accessing primitive wisdom. Clarity, explanations, rationality, and reasonableness of ego-centered justifications are the concomitants. I don't know how to say this word. Hold on. Concomitants? What does that even mean? Concomitants. Okay. This means a phenomenon that naturally accompanies or follows something. Alright, let's read along here. Concomitants, alright, of civilized society and adult norms of acceptable attitudes. Yet beneath the surface, we long for something we know is lost or forgotten, something more real, closer to nature, mysteries of pagan wisdom. Even though these darker forces hint that something dangerous lurks, we are still attracted. That kind of gives me the connection to the alchemy of where the moon in Sagittarius is speaking of. We change, sometimes slowly and sometimes dramatically, and thoroughly at the root. Learning how to awaken hidden energies through alchemy. It says, Sufis have long taught that the path to tread to optimize growth is a path of paradox. Two seemingly irreconcilable. Why can't I say these words? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on. I'm going to get it together. I promise. Irreconcilable. Thank you. Irreconcilable. I can't even say it. It's embarrassing. Anyway. Alright. Two seemingly irreconcilable factors oppose each other, and the resultant tension feels like a crucifixion. So we're speaking about the sun and the moon opposing each other, where there's tension, but it feels like a crucifixion, it says. For example, the attempt to fulfill the promise of romantic love and simultaneously be a responsible member of a group can easily create paradox wherein two undeniable forces clash. Either family approval or career aspects or friendship circles are threatened or compromised. So say for instance, right now, I'm focusing more so on my career stuff, right? Like building my knowledge and sharing this with you guys here on YouTube. Yet, I'm not spending time with my family. But yet, I spent all day making sure that mommy duties at home were done. Alright, so that way, when it was time for me to come sit here, I could focus. What is this all about? I don't know. It says the resolution is found at a higher level of awareness and the deepening of one's level of inner authenticity, which together creates a shift in one's level of consciousness and maturity. It's hard to be aware of this at the time. However, retrospectively, it becomes clear that the inner transformational shifts we're occurring as a direct result of maintaining the paradoxical commitment to both sides. So not saying that I can't do this and or I can't do that. Yes, I can. I just have to do it at two separate times. Why do I feel like I'm so... Okay. This is weird. Tapping into primitive roots. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get these words together. Primitive roots, and then the energy of alchemy. Excuse the dogs. We change sometimes slowly and sometimes dramatically and thoroughly at the root. Pagan practices of spirituality resonate with very deep race memories and bind us into the source of all knowledge. Transmission and the energy of becoming our own ideals. This is all the mutable energy right now. Oh wait, I forgot. Venus just stepped into Gemini as well. So let's look at the very first Sabian symbol. Discovering new dimensions. The unconscious mind holds as many secrets as the ocean depths, which can be revealed to one who inquires, uncovering a new dimension of life. There exist vast oceans of reality of which we remain almost entirely unconscious and yet can sometimes glimpse with peripheral or dimmed vision. To the curious, this first foggy awareness triggers excitement and wonder, and even a hint that we could get closer if we surrendered the safety of our secure little ego. You guys can tell that we are officially in Gemini season because all I hear is literally cars driving around and loud music. I mean, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. It's ruled by the third house, and it has a lot to do with communication. That could be music, transportation, cars, and literally in the local community. So all I hear today is like loud cars driving around as I'm trying to do this reading. But whatever, that's besides the point. All right. This is just blowing my mind right now because it feels completely different. Completely. So the very first 5 degrees of Gemini speaks about freshness, and this is what it feels like. It feels like we're officially in spring energy, something like that. All right, it says, through uncovered fresh new dimensions of life, which is the first Sabian symbol, a clear belief unfolds in the dependability of universal abundance. The second Sabian symbol speaks about Santa Claus filling stockings furtively, and we have spiritual blessings here. All right. It says, then, by understanding the role of modern hierarchy and privilege, which is the third Sabian symbol, the garden of the Tula trees, we spoke about crystallization and how bringing to bear the rational mind to explain the mysteries solidifies experiences in the foundation of knowledge. All right, moving forward, it says, and accessing primitive wisdom. So this is the whole holly and mistletoe energy with the whole primitive roots, the practices of spirituality. We can go beyond the entropy of established limits and collective opinions. A radical magazine is what this specific Sabian symbol is called. It says going beyond the established limits. Discovery leads to an unwillingness to accept the status quo. Going beyond the established limits and collective opinions. Any sustained push in one direction must inevitably trigger a pushback of equal intensity. Such is life at root. However much the powers of civilized authority require conformity, There will always be those who chose at whatever cost to reach beyond the boundaries to discover what lies there. Almost by definition, these are the lawbreakers, the marginals, and the weirdos who tend to be feared, ridiculed, and scapegoated. So the fact that I'm looking into Sabian symbols right now and the shit that sounds weird, this is me going beyond, all right, the established limits in understanding something. It says through tangential. I'm over these fucking words today. That's all I know. I'm gonna get to it, you guys. Though we're gonna figure it out together.
Tangential.
Tangential. What was that word? Over here. Through tangential touch. Through the tangential touch, we link to everything else. Personality effectively puts its stamp on everything it touches, even if the touch is merely tangential. This is because personality is a co-created form, a characteristic or relating or of relating, and is shaped as it shapes. So personality, you need personality in order to do some sort of like putting on a show, right? Gemini's energy, you have to have personality when you are writing a book, when you are, obviously me speaking here to you on YouTube, those that create music, all right? Personality could even be, as I'm speaking of, I hear cars driving through the community with music. People can know what your personality is like by the type of music that you listen to. Not necessarily, but could be. All right, or what your car looks like, the type of color you love. I don't know what this is, but it's giving me change in the energy. It's different. It feels different. All right. So spiritually, moving forward, these readings are going to feel different. All right. I'm going to pull from the Citadel deck. I don't know, you guys. I feel like out of my element. I'm telling you, it feels so freaking weird. Like even me cleaning today and moving my desk to the other side of the room, I feel weird. Literally. It feels great because it feels clean and, you know, but I feel weird. I feel out of place. Out of my element. Let's see what we have here. The warrior. Perfectionism. And maybe that's what it is. You want to perfect everything, right? You want to feel like, I don't know. Or maybe when trying to perfect something, you overdo it, right? You burn yourself out. The enchanter, deception and trickery. What is this energy? The pathless, difficult decisions. Why is that? The orator, communication. Something pertaining to this energy, you guys. Let's get one from the bottom of the deck. The hunter, sure-footedness. I forgot what that card meant, but I did read that one the other day. I'll have to get used to this deck, guys. It's pretty, like, new to me. Alright, Alright, so I pulled 5 cards out. Alright, very first one is the warrior, perfectionism. Speaks about burnout as well. Deception and trickery. Difficult decisions and or lack of direction, communication and confidence, sure-footedness and predestination. So, listen, if you are supposed to stand out in a specific way, kind of looks like the way that you start off, you can't be perfectionist. You can't be a perfectionist. You can't. This is like you deceiving yourself in which way you want to move forward. You make yourself feel like this path isn't supposed to be a trail that you're supposed to go down when I feel it should be. All right. The communication and what you understand from it. I'm kind of seeing the skull here being illuminated with this third eye is kind of giving me that. And then I've got the hunter, sure-footedness, and predestination. Let's just get into it. All right, the warrior. Okay. The warrior. 84. It says the ring of steel, the scuff of boots in the dirt, the shout of recruits echoes across the courtyard. The training ground is a place of hard work, of blood and sweat, of the singular pursuit of improvement, and the warrior strives for perfectionism. Or, why can I read right? You guys, I apologize. I'm going to get it together. Warrior strives for perfection, no matter the scars they gather in pursuit of their peak form. I mean, me just kind of like trying to hold back on what I just said, speaking about you don't have to be a perfectionist. I feel like you don't have to be. The warrior is like, you're going to show up and show out no matter what. The warrior is going to find a way to get through it, right? It says, in your efforts to improve, you set yourself in competition against something or someone, perhaps even an imagined perfect version of yourself. You see what I'm saying? The primal need to win is driving you. It feels great to come out on top, no matter the damage you take in the meantime. Whether you learn to curb that impulse or use it to grab your goals, be aware of its presence. So just be aware. I'm getting frustrated. It's because I feel like somebody has control over my words. Like, I want to speak right and I can't. I'm going to burn myself out. Let's read the negative side to that energy if it was reversed. It says, this is a warrior defeated, a fighter at the end of the illustrious career. They've pushed and pushed until their body and armor is too damaged to continue. And now they've left to wonder what's next. Now they're left to wonder what's next. Something in your life is coming to an end. Where do you go now? It didn't come out in reverse, but yes, we can read these cards in reverse. All right, so take it how it resonates. All right, are you at burnout with something? I feel like I am. I burned myself out today, especially because I'm in opposition with this energy, right? Sag is my rising energy, full moon, and here I am trying to communicate some shit like that I feel like I can't do. Yes, I can. I can. All right, let's look at the enchanter. What energy is that? Okay. This is crazy. This is nuts. I can't believe I just did that. Oh my gosh. 70. Okay. This one says, a flash of flame, whirls of green smoke, and a flock of doves that appears from nowhere. The audience applauds. The enchanter takes a bow. They know how to entrance and entertain, and with a century of arcane learning behind them, they never put a foot wrong. But it is truly magic, or is it all smoke and mirrors? So are you trying to create some sort of deception and or trickery around your energy? It says you may be in a situation where you're being forced to deceive another, and whether it is intentional or not, you run the risk of being caught out in a lie. You could back away hoping that it will be forgotten about or resolve itself in time, but you run the danger of it spiraling out of control. Or you can own up and take responsibility for your own actions. The decision is yours. So say you were trying to perfect something and you're on here speaking some shit and you make a fuck up. You fuck something up. Are you going to take responsibility for that, or try to let it fly over the roof, and then the next day somebody comes on and says, you were wrong about this, and you're like, fuck, I got to fix it. I should have been focused more so on my perfection and the knowledge that I was gaining. That's what this is giving me. Let's look at the negative side. It says the enchanter reversed addresses the repairing of a relationship after a deception comes to light. You or someone you know may have had the truth or their deceit revealed, willingly or not. Losing them the trust of others, now is the chance to work together to reach a state of reconciliation. That's interesting, because I did Virgo's energy and I did Scorpio's energy, and I did a collective reading for the full moon in Sagittarius, and it's giving me where secrets are coming out. All right, if there was hidden information that wasn't shared, it's almost like you're at odds with these people or these places or whatever. I don't know. Maybe if you have a specific belief system and you've been believing on one thing, and now the change that the energy brings is like now you believe in something else after learning one thing. I hope this is making sense. It's almost like if you learn something to be able to share that knowledge with someone else, but now the energy is changing. It was almost like someone giving you the wrong information. Difficult decisions with the pathless. Let me look at this energy here. The pathless. And where am I? 102. Okay. It says, the street is busy, alive with the shouting of voices and the sound of boots on cobbles. But one pair of feet seems to have no destination, walking in circles, meandering and lost. This poor soul is the pathless, who hesitated on many decisions and rushed into too many others. They are the product of indecision and misdirection, lacking confidence in themselves and trusting too much in people who would misguide them. It feels like progress on whatever you've been working towards has ground to a halt. Others might give you unsolicited advice, but you know yourself better than anyone. Take a step back and consider a new direction, but don't keep stubbornly moving forward if it's not getting you anywhere. On the reverse side, it says the pathless doesn't lack direction because of stubbornness, rather because of the impulsive energy that drives them in the multiple directions at once. You know what you want, but you lack the valuable experience needed to organize and plan how you actually get there. Consider that you might need a little more time before you're in a position to pursue this particular path. So, if you want to be to perfection with something, and you've been lied to about something, and or you've been, deceiving yourself by saying this is the path that you're supposed to be on, then either you're making a very difficult decision and or you're in the lack of direction. This was coming up in the energy, like people basically saying like if you're in the wrong relationship or you're doing the wrong career, or people laughing at you because you spend so much time. Maybe you're lacking finances. Maybe you lack friendships. All right. Let's speak about it. The orator. You just that. One thing I love about these decks is that they give so much information, but I remember when I first got my other deck, the Seed and Sickle from the same author, Fez Inkwright, I had to write on every single card what every single card meant. I feel like with this specific deck, I'm going to have to include the numbers of where in the guidebook I'm supposed to be tapping into this energy. Alright, they're really, really cool cards, you guys. I mean, like, the illustrations on here are amazing. But I guess, being an intuitive reader, I need a little more. I want to understand the deck first before I move forward, because I haven't perfected this deck yet. I haven't. Alright. The orator, communication and confidence. It says the seats of the theater curve away on either side of you, filled with a rapt audience waiting for the performance to begin. On the stage, a single figure clears their throat and begins their soliloquy. I don't know how to say that. Even when they're not performing, the orator speaks with complete confidence. They're not shied away from a public stage, but they're so used to reading from a script that sometimes they find themselves tongue-tied when it comes to thinking for themselves. You guys, what did I just say? I feel out of my element. I can't read right. All right. And instead, it's basically saying like I need to tap into my confidence. Like needing to think for myself. That's a good thing. I mean, obviously, this is going to be new. All right. So working with alchemy, it's hidden energy. You have knowledge about something. But how do you tap into your roots and teach someone that at the same time if you are still learning? You have to think about it for yourself before you can lead others, I feel. My nose just started like going crazy. The Hunter is the next card, but I'm going to finish this one out. It says, doubting yourself is only holding you back. It's okay if you take a little longer to think about how to voice your needs and desires. Writing a script of how to ask for these things might even benefit you here. Be confident in taking up a space and letting your voice be heard. Someone, perhaps even you, is saying things that aren't necessarily true. Their words are what they think others want to hear. Though there can be a kindness in white lies, you'll quickly become tangled in a net of your own making. Honesty is the best policy, and if you choose your words well, a hard truth doesn't have to be difficult to hear. And I'm okay with that. I feel like this is someone criticizing you. And I'm okay with criticism, because it's like, I don't think I'm to perfection yet, especially not with this specific deck, not with learning Sabian symbols, not even with tarot. Sometimes I'm confused, and that's okay, because it allows me to have a chance to think for myself. All right, so I feel what the energy is saying is learn how to adapt to the changes that are happening right now, because Gemini is communication, and communication can come in so many different ways, right? Communication can come through dreams. Communication can come through music, as I was just saying. Communication can come through, you know, you seeing a sign somewhere. It can be a multiple of things. So it feels different. It's just different, all right? And again, this moon in Sagittarius' energy, as we're supposed to be adapting through optimism, through alchemy, it's hidden energies. All right, so what does Sagittarius require for you to do? It's gain higher knowledge and be optimistic, and it requires you to like travel. You know what I mean? All right, last one, the Hunter. What? Oh, that's why I'm looking at the wrong one. My bad. 94. Yeah, I'm going to have to definitely tap into this deck and put some numbers on here, because I cannot with this guidebook and all these going back and forth. All right, sunlight dapples the forest floor, and from the shaded, ferny depths, a white stag emerges. Nearby... Sorry, guys. Okay. Nearby, a shadowy figure pauses, and Nearby, a shadowy figure pauses, and a bowstring draws back with a creak. The hunter is a patient person, capable of following their prey for days at a time, eyes always on the tracks before them. By not looking up, they never appreciate the beauty of the forest around them. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter so long as they reach their quarry, right? Am I saying that word right? This is my perfectionist energy right here going on. Quarry. Thank you. Because I'm like, am I saying that right? Sunlight dapples the forest floor, and from the shaded, ferny depths, a white stag emerges. Nearby, a shadowy figure pauses, and a bowstring draws back with a creak. The hunter is a patient person, capable of following their prey for days at a time, eyes always on tracks before them, but not looking up. They never appreciate the beauty of the forest around them. But that doesn't matter so long as they reach their quarry, right? It's almost like you're missing out on your opportunity to experience the actual energy of the environment. That's what I'm getting there. It's time to put your head down and block out all distractions. The forest may be beautiful, but stopping to admire the view won't get you any closer to your goal. So there you go. Spirit just smacked me right in the face. It doesn't matter. That's not what you're here for. You're here to learn. Okay. So you are the hunter right now. Your path is clear. Your prey is within sight. No matter how tempting slowing down for a moment might seem, now is not the time. Maintain your focus and determination to complete your task. In reverse, the advice of the upright card still applies. However, this is a warning to keep an eye on the balance of things. If you only ever focus on your quarry, you'll spend your whole life unaware that the forest exists. You haven't stopped to appreciate your surroundings recently. Take a breather. You see what I'm trying to say? You haven't stopped to even know what the environment feels like, what it looks like. How to even soak that in, because you're so focused on the quarry, what your goal is. Okay. I don't know, you guys. That just gave me a major headache reading into these cards. Whew. Let me see something, you guys, because this deck overall, it goes over, I want to say it's the elements. Hold on, let me look at this. I should totally know this, but I have to go back. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking. Let me just get a clear, here we go. So in this deck, the representation of each card is a specific element. Alright, so this one here, the triangle up with the line through, that's air energy. So this has to be Libra, Gemini, Aquarius' energy. Alright. What else did we see here? So lots of air overall. The warrior, the enchanter, and the orator. In this deck specifically, the air element, I believe, is going to be... Hold on. The academy, and where you're actually learning. So you're in school. Let's just say, right? In this community book, you're in school. Alright, so you can't be to perfection. You can't deceive yourself. You have to continue to focus on the communication. Alright? The warrior, the enchanter, and the orator. Now, here, this is the energy of earth. I don't know why I just heard heaven and earth. Oh my God, that's what it feels like. Because heaven is the heaven is the energy of like what you're trying to learn about, the spirituality stuff, right? So here on earth, all right, the hunter's energy, and then we have the pathless, almost like a difficult decision. Are you on the right path with this? And I feel like, yes, you are. You are. My chest feels like my heart's beating really fast. The pathless and the hunter. I'm kind of getting like you stand out. Even if you feel like you don't belong there. Because I'm seeing a bunch of hands, but there's only one that's golden. But you feel you lack direction. But once again, you should know you're on the right path. You just have to stay focused. Not get distracted from what's not important. Okay. Holy moly. I gotta put this back up here. Okay. Do I want to use this? No, I don't want to use this deck. This is really sticky. It's because my room is so humid, guys. I had to like move everything around to like get the fan in the window. And these decks specifically, they're so soft. And when it's real humid, they stick together really bad. Alright, let me just see here. Do I want to use this deck with this? Should I? Do I want Angel Tarot with this? I feel like this is a very extreme type of reading if I go in with these cards. I mean, but it could be good for me to understand certain things. You guys, I'm at 35 minutes. This is going to be a long reading, so just stick with me here. What in the world? Well, you know what? This is what I signed up for. This is what I signed up for. The Four of Cups. The God deflecting evil. The Knight of Cups. The revealing God. The Two of Swords. The Lord of all virtues God. The Wheel of Fortune. The God has healed. Strength. Interesting. The Raising God. Eight of Swords. God, Protector, and Savior. I'm going to pull 4 more cards. To make it like a Celtic cross, except for it's not really a Celtic cross. I'm just going to put it in placement like that. Alright. I've got the Devil here with the severity of God. The Emperor, like unto God. Four of Wands, the God the Savior, and King of Wands, God the merciful judge. Down on the bottom of the deck, the Hangman, the only God. Wow. Okay. So the energy of the Four of Cups, which technically in tarot is saying, this could speak about like having a missed opportunity or feeling like you've had a missed opportunity. This can be discontent and boredom. But it says the God deflecting evil. So healing capacities, protection from weapons, and safety in travels. Then we move on to the energy of the challenge being the Knight of Cups. The revealing God. Perception and revelation. Discovers hidden treasures and reveals the secrets of nature. So this is the knowledge that you have of heaven and earth, I'm kind of getting. Alright, perception is kind of when you need to take a step back and really think about something and have to experience it from a different perspective type of thing. The Two of Swords energy would be typically what's crowning this energy here, like what's the goal overall. And it says God, Lord of all virtues. So breaking the circle, lifting opposing barriers, and bringing in a victory. Alright. And then the Wheel of Fortune here is pretty much what we have accomplished already. God has healed. So healing heals all disorders, protects travelers and medical workers. Something about traveling here. So safety and traveling is overall what we were speaking about. Safety and traveling. I just heard astral traveling. I don't know. Alright, I got strength here, which typically means you need to have courage and strength and vitality. Alright. The Raising God. It says loyalty, obviously. Strength card is loyalty. Its devotion is determination because it's Leo's energy. Delivery from those who seek to oppress. That brings in victory. Okay. And then we have the Eight of Swords overall. So the strength is where we currently are right now. Being loyal. Alright. To our angels here. And bringing in some sort of victory. In the near future, Eight of Swords. God, Protector, and Savior. Alright. Some sort of truth and justice. Protection from enemies who would steal one's fortune. This was coming up in the freaking tarot reading earlier. I'm telling you, it was almost like if I was experiencing someone lacking finances due to someone else trying to come in and steal that. So the Eight of Swords energy, in which represents in tarot in the Chaldean order of planets, is Jupiter in Gemini. This is Saturday's energy. Saturday, May 25th. Jupiter steps into Gemini. All right, so whatever happens, there's going to be some sort of truth that comes in, and justice will be served. Protection from enemies who would steal one's fortune. All right, so say like I'm doing this channel right here, right? And I'm doing all this knowledge and I'm trying to gain as much as I can, and my content is stolen and placed on a different channel for other viewers to see, and they reap the rewards of that, of my work. That's what this feels like. All right. So maybe this whole safety, that's why I heard astral traveling. Safety and travel. I keep hearing that. Safety and travel, safety and travel. I don't know, but I've seen the word victory here twice. Delivery from those who seek to oppress brings victory. Breaking the circle and lifting opposing barriers also brings in victory. So what's crowning is the same goal. What we're doing right now is the same goal. We're meant to show loyalty right now. And in the near future, we'll receive truth and justice for whatever it is that we're doing here. All right? The path of spirituality is what I'm getting. So then here we go. The energy of the devil is here. All right? The severity of God. Seduction and downfall. Communicates with the dead. Teaches the occult and magic. All right, so this is the energy around your environment, pretty much. Wow, the devil and the emperor together next to each other, very authoritative energies. The devil's ruled by Saturn. The emperor is Aries energy, that's ruled by Mars. Mars is comfortable in Capricorn, which is the devil's energy. All right. So this is what I'm saying. Seduction and downfall. Communicates with the dead. Teaches the occult and magic. The emperor speaks about political authority. Gives safe travel and protects against conspiracies. So what's the whole thing we're speaking about here is safety and travel. So if you're a healer, all right, and you do this through the energy of tarot, right? You read, you understand the energies, you give out your knowledge in order for others to heal. All right, you are seen as a starseed. All right, I would say you are considered to be a medium, pretty much. All right, you are a medical worker. All right, a therapeutical worker, let's just say it like that. All right, and someone comes and steals your information, your knowledge, and places it upon others that isn't really meant to hear that message. All right, that's like if you're in this occult and that knowledge is supposed to be meant for certain people. This is where the emperor steps in and says, listen, political authority. All right, you have safe travel to put out this message. This person doesn't. This person is going to be dealing with their justice. That type of thing. Okay. It's like giving me a conspiracy theory. It's like one person has a message that's true, this other person is not. All right. That's giving me the deception and the trickery energy over here with the energy of the warrior. So the warrior, although they want to be perfectionists, they have to have the right knowledge in order to put it out there. The enchanter are saying here, you know, this energy could be deceptive. It could be trickery. So be careful with what you're putting out there. All right. The orator is like, go back and have confidence in the communication you're putting out there. You don't want to be pathless here. All right. You don't want to be in a difficult decision whether you lack direction in where you're going with this information. All right. And the hunter is saying, pay attention. Don't focus on anything around you that's leading you and distracting you. Okay. The Four of Wands and the energy of the hopes and fears. God the Savior. Rectification helps one live in peace with everyone. The Four of Wands energy is the energy of marriage. It's of commitment. It is of the energy of home. All right. It is a celebratory type of energy, the Four of Wands. And currently, right now, Mars is in Aries in its domicile, and that's typically the energy of Venus in Aries. Alright. Which can be more so at its detriment. It doesn't work well there. But we're going to look at it as there's massive protection here with the Devil and the Emperor being next to each other. So here we have the King of Wands, which technically for me, it's Sagittarius' energy. And we're looking at the angel of God, the merciful judge. Eloquence gives answers to those in doubt. So if you're in doubt of something right now, then this is why you're being asked to take a step back, the Hangman. It says here, desire for knowledge protects from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. The only God. So if you don't have specific knowledge about something, you're meant to go back and research and gain the detailed information until it's to perfection. Alright. That's what I'm getting. You guys, I'm so sorry about the beginning of this video, but it was driving me crazy. I felt like I couldn't even speak right. I couldn't get the words through. The Sabian symbols were driving me crazy. But it's all because the energy is changing and Spirit wants us to be adaptable to it. That's what I feel. Okay, I do want to pull more on this. Alright. Why is it so significant to have safety while traveling? Because that's here twice. Okay. I have here the King of Cups. God seeing everything. Restitution. Okay, I was going to say, did I see that word? The same word? No. Finds stolen objects and discovers the person's responsible. Ah, safety while traveling. You see what I'm saying? So the person that's traveling back and forth, all right, whether this person is just tapping into the energy of the occult and they are tapping into the energy of understanding spirituality, right? This person is putting false knowledge out there. That person is going to be held responsible for it. All right. So when I ask, why is it important to have safety while traveling? It's so that whatever information is being transmitted, all right, it's correct. All right. I don't know. Finding stolen objects and discovering the person responsible. The stolen object could be the information that one person has put out there and someone else is placing it elsewhere and taking accountability for it. I just said that. Alright. The person that is in desire for knowledge should be protected from liars, evil spells, and bad spirits. That's what I feel. Alright. Moving forward. Let's look at why this energy of the Wheel of Fortune is something that we've already overcome. So the energy of healing, all right, and once again, protects travelers and medical workers. The Three of Wands, because the progress has already been made. Interesting. It says here, the God of hope, construction of the universe, help with great works, and protection against adversaries. Where's that word? It was over here too. I'm kind of feeling like the wheel has already turned. Alright, there's been construction of the universe already. You've had help with great works. This great works is protecting the travelers and the medical workers that are here in this specific field. And protecting from adversaries, right? Those that are using this knowledge for their own good. It's like they're not meant to be doing this. Whoa. King of Wands give answers to those that are in doubt. Why is that necessary? Because the King of Wands, for me, this is like the full moon in Sag energy. God, the merciful judge. Okay. What do we have with... Okay. Thank you. Knight of Wands. God, the good in himself. Protection. Prevents discovery of secret crimes and saves exiles. Ooh. So those that are in doubt, that say, oh, you're not protected. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. It says prevents discovery of secret crimes. Alchemy and transformation rules natural events and helps with spiritual progress. The Hermit is here. Word of God creating all. Did we not speak about alchemy in our Sabian symbol? With that full moon in Sag at 8 degrees? We change, sometimes slowly and sometimes dramatically, and thoroughly at the root. The Hermit is Virgo's energy. That is an earth sign. So here at the root, and where we are currently here on earth. Learning how to awaken hidden energies. How do you do that? Through the energy of meditation. Okay. Let's move forward. Seven of Swords. The God nurturing and maintaining everything. Knowledge of good and evil. Appeases divine anger and cures epilepsy. Okay. That's technically Aquarian's energy here with the Seven of Swords. You have a lot of knowledge about good and of evil. Okay. Take that knowledge and use it for the good. Help protect. Help those that are traveling to gain this knowledge. I don't know. Alright, you guys. That was a long ass reading. And I'm not sure I understood it all. But I love doing these type of readings overall, because even when I fuck up, I always go back and I look at my readings and I'm like, okay, this is how I know I'm going to be better next time. Whether it's within my reading, whether it's me understanding what I'm reading, right? Interpreting more so what it means for me. Okay. You know, you guys, this Angel Tarot deck is a very difficult tarot deck to work with because it's different. It's not like a normal tarot deck. Let's pull from a Chinese oracle here. Let's see. Interesting. Rocks and things for me. Something about, yeah, crystals. When it says rocks and things, I'm thinking of like crystals, you know what I mean? Like this is pyrite. Here we have like black tourmaline. Okay. Interesting. Dreams are the seeds of tomorrow's uncreated potential that spring from the depths of the past. You see how my reading picked up as soon as I like got into it? Because in the beginning I'm like, ugh, what is going on? Alright, let's put one of these. Oh, there's two. There was more than that. 3. Powerful beginnings in progress. Enjoy the waiting game. Damn it, did I put that one back in? I did. It's okay, I'll pull another one. I'm seeing 51 and 42. I got the wood tiger and the wood snake here. Interesting. And the wood ox. Something about the wood. Knowledge brings wisdom. Powerful beginnings in progress. Enjoy the waiting game. Knowledge brings wisdom. So maybe you're not exactly where you need to be right now. This is why you feel like you need to be of perfection. Alright, you have so much more to learn. But it's definitely a powerful new beginning right now. You're going to make progress. You're going to enjoy the waiting game with all the knowledge that you're gaining. This is going to bring you wisdom. Alright, let's look up. Interesting. All right, here it says wood fuels fire. Patient and understanding, warm, sociable and compassionate, flexible and adaptable, stable and practical and generous. All right, so I would imagine that the negative sides of this would be doesn't have a good grasp on boundaries or limits, can be too passive and yields easily under pressure, can rely too heavily on others. So this is about you being patient and understanding the energy of the society that you're, tapping in with. Learning how to be compassionate, flexible, adaptable, all mutable energy in which I was just speaking about, right? Becoming stable and practical and generous. That's mutable energy. It's giving me a heavy Capricorn energy here. Let me roll this Astro Days. Because I got the tiger out here, the snake out here, and the ox. Pisces in the second. Aquarius's energy with Saturn here. Saturn does rule Aquarius as well. I can't just say Capricorn. It's true. All right, Saturn does rule Aquarius's energy. I'm seeing 5 and 1. The 5th house, the 1st house, and or the number 6. I'm seeing the Lovers, which is Gemini's energy. I'm seeing 4 and 2, 6 again, and then a number 2. All right. So the 4th house, the 2nd house, the 5th house, the 1st house, and or I'm seeing the numbers 6 and 6 and 2. What's that angel number? 662. 662. Big picture. Make choices that reflect the main goal instead of focusing on the little things that can distract you and create negativity. Focus on the big picture today. Your angels remind you that when you keep that image in mind, each choice you make will be in favor of what you ultimately want. Write down your main goal and put the paper somewhere you will see it constantly. That's funny because my main goal, more so, just a few weeks back when I started it, was this whole numerology thing. And I felt like the energy was just so tense on this Sabian symbol thing, and me understanding the energy overall, that I kind of put that on pause. So let's look at the characteristics then of the numbers that are here. We have the energy of 5, number 1, 4, 2. 5 speaks of change. The strengths of this energy calls for adventure, adaptability, fun, loving, and daring energies. The weaknesses is unpredictable, unreliable, and irresponsible. So someone that is responsible, someone that is reliable, all right, it shows the energy of what? This patient and understanding person, this authoritative energy. We have all wood here. All right, that was 5. Let's look at 2. Someone that's balanced. A peacekeeper, someone intuitive, diplomatic, supportive, warm. The weaknesses of this energy is that they're indecisive, oversensitive, and codependent. All right. Number 1. All right, strengths. Could be a natural leader, independent, ambitious, driven, and visionaries. Weaknesses, they're impatient, controlling, and arrogant. So if you're put into a position of authority, you want to be a natural leader where people actually look up to you. You inspire others. I did 2, I did 5. Let's look at the number 4. A foundation. Sensible, dependable, trustworthy, practical, loyal. Are these words that we not just see? Weaknesses, they're stubborn, inflexible, and intolerant. We have to learn how to be flexible and adaptable to the changes that are happening right now. Let's look at the signs here. Let's start off with the tiger. Okay. So the tiger is someone that's trustworthy, loyal, generous, and honest. They can be aggressive, confident, and courageous. Their negative sides is that they're stubborn, reckless, and quick-tempered. All right, so these are all the energies that we're looking at right now. Someone that is willing to stay confident in what it is that they're doing here. Someone that's going to start this new beginning and continue to make progress. Be loyal and generous and honest moving forward. Let's look at the energy of the snake. The snake side is someone that's intuitive, imaginative, competent, wise, and sensitive. Funny, persuasive, sympathetic, and passionate. This is giving me like a Pisces energy. All right, and we are immutable energy. The last quarter moon is going to be in Pisces, by the way. All right, the negative side of this, they can be overconfident, judgmental, intimidating, and stubborn. All right, interesting that the stubborn word keeps coming up for me because we just stepped out of the Taurus energy. All right, let's see. What about the ox? The ox. The ox is someone that is diligent, dependable, strong, and determined, hard worker, independent, and patient. So this is giving me heavy Saturn energy. All right. That number, angel number 662, I just read it out to you guys. Go, backtrack on that energy there. (662). I'm seeing like pertaining to the mutable energies in which we have right now. This can be like the sun in Gemini, right? 6 in the major arcana is the Lovers, being connected to something there. It's almost like they call it, I don't want to say it, but they call it like the twin flame energy. All right, so let's just say this is the energy of like the sun in Gemini, which Gemini represents the Lovers card, right? Here we have 4 and 2, which is another number 6. The following transit that stepped in was the Venus in Gemini energy. All right. This one says, enjoy the waiting game. This number 2 is giving me Pisces with the energy of the High Priestess. And in Pisces right now, we have Saturn, which is what we're speaking about. This, this very authoritative person, this person that's dependable, responsible for putting out a specific message. Knowledge brings wisdom. All right, so here we have true transits coming out with these energies. Interesting enough, the snake was giving me more so of Pisces. This very intuitive type of, the snake can sense and see movement and like, you know what I mean? Interesting. All right, let's go back real quick. I want to see something. So the wood is the most human of the elements. It is the element of spring, the creative urge to achieve, which can turn to anger when frustrated. It is associated with the capacity to look forward, plan, and make decisions, hence growth and expansion. That's totally giving me like a Jupiter energy. All right. So being expansive, outgoing, and socially conscious and courageous is this wood energy here that came out 3 times. Look at it. That's amazing. All right, the wood snake. I'll put it up to you guys. It's closer. My lighting is completely off now. The wood snake, the wood tiger, and the wood ox. All right. Pretty good. I like it. All right, you guys. I think I'm going to leave the reading there. I gave you lots of information. All right. Pertaining to this transition into the mutable signs. All right, we talked about Sabian symbols. We went into the energy of our community deck there, the Citadel. Okay, we tapped into the Angel Tarot and what this all means. All right, and then we're looking into even the Chinese astrology, which is giving us great information and where we need to move forward. Just stay connected to the energy of your knowledge right now. So I just looked it up. I said, what chakra is the wood element? I'm looking at, what the question that I put on there. It says what chakra is the wood element? It's the 7th chakra. That's the energy of your ascension, right? The connection you have to conscious universe. All right. Interesting enough. Context in source publication, it says, and 7th chakras are related to wood and liver. Okay. 2nd and 6th chakras are related to water and kidney. 3rd chakras corresponds to fire and heart. 4th chakra is metal and lung. And the 5th chakra corresponds to earth and spleen. Just things that I have to learn about, you guys. I'll share it all with you guys when we get there. It's a long journey. Love you guys. I'm out.